Hey fam, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the company. We're going to do another all signs tarot reading. And yeah, I have a tendency to interpret these messages as encouragement. Sometimes we get down into the nitty gritty. If we're going to go down there, I'm always going to lift you right on back up. No worries. That's how I tend to interpret them, as total encouragement. So if that's what you're looking for, if that's what you need right about now, I'm happy to oblige. Let's see what we can get into. Okie dokie. I have already pre-shuffled. Let's go ahead and cut the decks together, starting with the good old archetypes. Ooh, the seed. What are we planting? What's going on? What's happening? I so rarely get to see this one too. This has been nice. We haven't had a repeat in a minute. Look at us. So of course, there's a plane up ahead right about now. Feel free to take that as you will. The seed, the beginning, the origin, the pearl. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. Isn't that the truth? Like, you know, that's something that I've been trying to be better about, is when things kind of rub me the wrong way, I turn toward them. I go, okay, what is the lesson within this? What is this growth spurt that I'm being presented with, right? Whether I take it and roll with it or not, right? And so that's kind of perfect for this transformative time and this section of the journey that we've all been on recently, right? Regardless of whether you're Virgo as well or not. I happen to have a lot of Libra in my chart. So I know I like some good old balance. You know, like there's sometimes when we're in these growth phases, I don't know about you, but I've in the past always wanted to hit the fast forward button. You know what I mean? Like, let's get past this awkward phase. You know, I don't want to like starting a new job. Like, okay, can I just fast forward to when this is like, you know, a mundane day rather than having to like put all this new crap into my brain and fumble along the way, right? But why fast forward? What if we were to revel in it? What if we were to just enjoy? Because honestly, when you're starting a new job, that's when the least is expected of you, right? Because you don't know. You're learning that company's methods and whatnot, right? It's kind of the easiest time. You're just meant to learn, and we all learn at different paces, right? So rather than getting frustrated with yourself, embrace yourself, right? Enjoy this portion of the program, because it will end up going by a lot faster than you realize. You're all so soon about to look back and be like, wow, I was so annoyed. I was so frustrated or scared, because the unknown can be scary. Change can be scary. But if this is change and growth that we've brought on, why are you so scared, right? There's so much that has happened, and that's in the past now. So what is it that we're really scared of? What is it that we're really frustrated with, right? Let's move on to the Oracle deck. This is the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. Oh, there's our repeater. Paint the sun back in your sky. I feel like a part of that frustration and annoyance is because we have this idea, right? We have our own ideals, and it can trip us up, because the deal with that, though, is those were the ideas and the ideals that we had when we were still in the muck and the mire, right? When we were still at that point that we've grown from, that we've shed that skin. So it's okay for our wants and desires, our manifestations, to change and evolve with us. But cards like this have a tendency to show up when you've been in the dark, having those dark nights of the soul. And this is your reminder that you don't belong in those depths anymore. I don't think you ever did. We may manage to get cozy, like, well, this is my life now, so I might as well, burrow in. But why? It's not comfortable anymore, is it? Because that's not where you belong, okay? I feel compelled to read from the book, so I'm going to read from the book, okay? Don't build a home that will come crumbling down if a single person walks out the front door. When it comes down to it, we can't depend on other people to make us feel happy or fulfilled. The fact is that people are going to leave from time to time, and you're the only one who's guaranteed to stay. Take the time to find sources of joy outside of your loved ones. You deserve happiness that lasts. Okay, thank you. I knew that there was something else going on there. It's okay for paths to cross, and it's okay for paths to go off in their own directions. It doesn't mean that somebody stopped caring, right? We're all on our own paths, and you have every right to be secure within yourself. Like too many of us, we'd rather be in crowds of people than alone, even though we feel alone in the crowd. But why? Right? Why surround yourself by people like that? Because love and all of the good, that starts with us. That comes from us, and we then magnetize it to us. Maybe some of us just need to move, right? Move to a place, because there's a whole wide world out there, right? There's so much to explore, so many experiences to enjoy, as well as leave behind us, right? So I'm not saying don't love, don't welcome people into your life. What we're saying here is don't put so much of your happiness and your fulfillment onto others, onto anything external from you. You are your white knight. You are your savior. You are your fulfillment. Everything else is sprinkles on an already tasty sundae. For those who eat sundaes, you don't have to. You certainly don't have to. Although I'm curious what you do like, because I want to try that too. Every single tooth in my mouth is a sweet tooth, is all I'm saying. Fam, what time is it? It's clarification time. I don't know. We'll see. This is YouTube. Let's lighten the mood a wee bit. I have a tendency to, I totally blanked out for a moment there. I have a tendency, distracted myself, to consider the tarot as a story, right? And sometimes each card is its own chapter. Sometimes they lay out like different parts in a book with their own chapters, right? And either way, they tend to line up beautifully. So what's going to be chapter 1? Goodness gracious, yet again, we have the Wheel of freaking Fortune as the first tarot card pulled. Well, that's it. We're good. Let's go. Shortest tarot reading on my channel. I'm kidding. Nah, I'm not going to let you go like that. The tens themselves have a tendency to be the completion of a cycle. And the Wheel of Fortune itself is a reminder that with this beginning comes, or hello, don't mind me, with this ending comes a new beginning. And right now, the odds are ever in your favor, my friend. Every time I see it, I hear a click as the gear shifts, right? There's so much representation going on in this card, so much astrological and esoteric stuff, right? Even the Sphinxes are out to play here. But mostly this is fate coming in and saying, okay, you've had your fun with your free will, but this, it's time for this. And this can only happen just like these because you brought it about. You wanted this. So it's time to open up and embrace it. Receive it so that we can all move on to this next chapter. What's it going to be? Goodness. Okay, first of all, what? the world, fam, that's you know. Some refer to this card as the dancer of the tarot. If that resonates with anyone, it certainly resonates with me. The world is in the palm of your hand, fam. This is the end of the journey as far as the major arcana is concerned. The fool's journey is what they refer to it as, what we refer to it as. And this is the culmination of everything experienced along the way, which the fact that these two are bink bink coming up side by side in a row, first two tarot cards on the table, speaks volumes. You've learned so much. You have come so far. And the whole dang tree really is inside of you, and it is sprouting away. Everything is possible now, as long as you are open to that. The worst is behind you, and it needs to be ditched and left the heck on back there, okay? You've got this, fam. You've got this in spades, all right? You've got this. What's next? Boosh. So I like to refer to this Five of Swords card as the fuck around and find out card. Pardon my language. These people back there, they don't seem very happy, do they? But this person has a smirk. That's called, if you didn't screw me over, if you didn't betray me, if you didn't take me for granted, if you didn't enjoy perceiving me as below you, then we wouldn't be in this position right now. I wouldn't have had to teach you a thing or two. Oop, there's the plane, loud-ass plane overhead, right? So I'm going to take my wits about me. I'm going to take all of my wisdom gained and my mental clarity of this situation, of these relationships, and I'm going to leave you where you belong, in the past. And I'm going to honor everything that I've learned with you, everything that you on your own path has taught me. And whether you understand or not, you know, because it's all about perception, right? Maybe there are people in your life who feel like you're leaving them behind. Maybe they're unhappy because they don't get to take their crap out on you. They don't get to trauma dump on you anymore. Right? And that's okay. Because that's their journey. And this is yours. And you are meant to be happy and enjoying yourself now. Enjoying the fruits of your labor, all of your hard work, all of the pain that you are healing through. Understanding that you don't need to be perfect. So anyone trying to teach you as though you're supposed to be this perfect being for them, they can just calm down, all right? They can just calm down and take it to the dang mirror and heal themselves, okay? It's okay, because I don't think it's so much leaving people behind, right? Just because you love them doesn't mean that they get to stick around and treat you like crap. But just because you let them go doesn't mean that you let them go. Like, let them go with love, right? Isn't that one of the phrases we got going on these days? I love you, I forgive you, I let you go. Like, bye. I say with love, right? And forgiveness, I'm still on the fence about that. I'm still on the fence about it, because I feel like it's one thing to forgive ourselves for the things we did when we didn't know any better, or when we were in survival mode, right? And forgiving others, right? There's a difference between accepting what's happened, learning from it, and letting go of it, and forgiveness, right? It's almost like, for some of us, like, forgiveness is like saying, I condone it. And I really don't. You know what I mean? It's like, no. And you keep doing it. So what has forgiving you really helped? It hasn't helped either of us. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to enjoy my life, and I'm going to take care of myself now. I'm going to please me now. And in my happiness and in my joy and fulfillment, that's just going to spread, right? Taking care of yourself does not equal selfishness. It's what we're supposed to be doing, regardless of how well trained to people please we may be. What's next? Boosh, that's what I'm saying. And all these lessons, and it's so it can kind of feel, you know, like I was talking about earlier with where it can feel a bit frustrating, right? When you're, you know, you're trying to learn, you're trying to grow, and it's just like, man, I really wish I could press fast forward. Why? Why not revel in it? Why not use this moment for enlightenment and growth? I always say that I don't think their hands are bound. I think, what if there's just a knot in the wood that's just, it's going to dig into their spine otherwise? And we're trying to be cozy. If we're going to be here, we might as well be cozy, right? But it's different than being in rock bottom and burrowing in there. We're taking this moment, taking this opportunity to alchemize. Turning that pain, turning that darkness into gold, wisdom, enlightenment, opening our minds and seeing clearly. We've got the swords represented. There is clarity involved now, right? These are such particular major arcana, with a little fucking around and find out in between. What's coming up underneath the Wheel of Fortune? AC, you've been hurt. And it's really stuck with you. It's made it difficult to open up to others because people took you for granted. They took advantage of you. They treated your kindness as weakness. And they had to learn for the hard way that that's just not it. Right? But it still affected you every single time. But it can't rain all the time. And it won't rain all the time. And these are still the swords. There can still be clarity and wisdom gained from this. It wasn't your heart and it wasn't love that did those things. It was those people, and they can carry their consequences on their shoulders, whether they realize that's what's going on with them or not. That's their path. That's their journey and their lessons to learn. I don't believe in tests. I don't believe that God tests us or the universe or even ourselves. I believe that when we learn that lesson, we live like it. And we don't make those mistakes again. We don't self-inflict anymore. We heal because we allow ourselves to. We pull out the swords and We put them up on the wall. They're kind of nifty decorations, but I'm also goth, so, you know, shit happens. It may take time, and it's going to take as much time as it takes. But you can heal. And that's what you're being beckoned to do. Enjoy this quiet moment after the storm, right? But like the tower, don't grab the pieces, don't grab the bricks and the stones and stuff and try to put them back where they once were. That never served, and you don't belong there anymore, okay? The past is the past, and it's time to let it go. It's time to recognize your strength and resiliency that you have earned. And paint the sun back in your sky. Return to your life as you're meant to enjoy it. What's going to come up underneath the world? Boosh, there's that meditation card. Alrighty, so we have the 3, 4, 5. The numbers are numbering again, fam, and technically we have a 6 up here. We not only have a 6, we have a 66, if I'm not mistaken. Hey-o. This, regardless of whether you meditate or not, this is a card symbolizing, it's kind of similar to the Hanged Man, right? Where we separate ourselves from the hubbub. We separate ourselves from the distractions, from the crap that others like to fill our heads with. We're retraining our subconscious minds on how to properly speak to us. Because what do I always say? Our subconscious doesn't care. It doesn't have bias. It's spitting back up at us what it's been fed. And that's why it's so important for positive self-talk. You know, sometimes so many of us, our friends and the people, you know, it tends to be, you know, when we give each other a hard time, it's keeping one another humble, right? There's a big difference between helping someone stay humble and just simply being verbally abusive. And the people who are closest to you, especially yourself, those are the most important voices in your life. So they better be nice, because your subconscious hears the whole thing, and it's going to chew it and send it right on back to you. This, when I see it, I tend to, it's, you know, meditate some more, Amy. You know what I mean? And that's fair. I've been a bit, you know, off about it lately. I've been a bit distracted. Okay. Fine, spirit, fine. But like I was saying before, put up the swords. They can be decor now. Right? But there's this one sword down here. Because if anything were to ever happen again, you know how to handle it. You've learned how to handle things accordingly. What you're willing to accept, what you want in your life, what makes your soul purr, and what does not. What is simply unacceptable. Right? And you have every, what was that tapping? And you have every right to call bullshit, right? Even if it just means not saying anything and letting them stew in it, right? Sometimes that's the best thing to do, to not respond, to not react, to just chill. Vibe out, right? What's next? Hey, I love the Page of Swords. So I have a tendency to get the vibe that, like, you've been a bit misunderstood and underestimated in your life, haven't you? But it also takes us back to that youthfulness, that feeling of, like, being in the position of learning, like with a new job, learning the system, right? The process of this new company, or new to us anyway, right? But it's still the swords, fam. After everything, the whole dang suit, this Page of Swords, they know exactly what they're doing. They know how to handle this sword. And they're just kind of out there, boop, 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 boop. And they're looking over their shoulder like, yes. Right? They're not worried about it because they know what to do. They know exactly what to do. And they're not taking anything. They're not taking no shit. I love that it's coming up underneath the 5 of Swords, but after the 4. This Page of Swords is very confident. They have clarity. They've learned so much going through that suit, right? Maybe someone has a message coming in that is going to help make certain things that have been on your mind much clearer. Maybe it's this. It's probably not. I'm not going to take that kind of, like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. I just appreciate the company. It's very possible that someone younger than you is going to say something that just clicks. Right? But if not, this might be you. Maybe there's something that you're going to say that does make things clear. But, you know, if they're not going to listen, why do you keep wasting your breath on them? Right? Why for? Why you do? Because you can. Because your voice, your mind, you matter. Okay? What's going to come up underneath the Hanged Man? Balance. See, that's what this is all for, right? Figuring out balance in your life. Having that mental clarity. And you're ready for this new beginning. You're ready. Whether you're the big ship or the small ship, you can handle whatever waves are out there. You can handle the calm. You can stand on one leg. You can juggle. But let's not overlook this infinity symbol being represented here, right? That life goes on. You still have free will. Don't put so much weight onto fate. Fate's gonna fate. You know what I mean? And all these other people, like I said, they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own journey. We can't dictate to them. We can't control how they react to what we say and what we do. But we should have some semblance of control over ourselves. At the very least, to question, like, why did I react like that? Why did that, what, that got, that, I felt that deeply, but why, right? And it's coming up underneath the Hanged Man. Wow, fam, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, that's an, yeah, 7. I can count, I swear. I swear. So what if I have dyscalculia, or however it's pronounced? Whatever. Just give me a minute. I'll get there. But this, too, is not only about new beginnings. It's so very much so about balance. What goes around comes around. And just learn. We're here to learn, fam. Sometimes the lesson really fucking sucks, right? It really hurts. It's really difficult. But you've made it through so much. You are resilient. You are strong. You are courageous. And you've got a really good head on your shoulders. So if someone wants to underestimate you, that's on them. And they can choke on it, all right? What's the next? What's the epilogue to this story? Hey, there we go, dude. The Knight of Pentacles it speaks in time. This is the slowest night of the entire tarot. It's like a year's worth of time at least. It's taken a long time either way. This process of ours, right? Because we're all in this together, right? To grow and learn and get our heads on right about particulars. I like to say that my heart is attached to everything. Whether you think that's a good way to live or not, that's me. Love me for me, right? But the heart and the mind are two of the most important organs in our entire bodies. They work in concert together, right? This has been a long journey, this leg of it, right? And it feels as though now that we're at this point, now that we've been having our epiphanies and taking this chance of, okay, I had myself a moment, but I recognize how that affected me. And I want to work on this. I want to figure this out. Why did I react that way? Why am I getting so antsy right now? Right? Why did that of all things? Why am I so frustrated? I woke up frustrated. What is that about? Some days, right? Me yesterday, whatever, moving on. But at this point, we're able to turn it around and go, hey, subconscious, I don't think like that anymore. And the way these people live their lives, it's not matching my vibe anymore. And that's okay. We're all doing our thing. That's okay. It's time, fam. It's time. Oh, what's on the bottom of the deck? The Knight, or hello, Amy, what? The Queen of Swords. Oh, she has been through the kings and queens, the pages and the knights. They've been through so much. They've earned their place. They've gone through the whole suits, right? They have that wisdom gained, so much clarity is here. This queen is not only capable of having a clear mind and knowing exactly who she is, what she thinks, her voice, right? She understands that the sword is double-edged and there's power in that, right? She's capable of listening to others and making up her own mind about things, not being so easily swayed by things. Very, very secure on that throne and looking to the future, just like this knight. You notice how these two are kind of looking back, like, oh, okay, whatever. But these two are looking forward. Right? What are the extra notes for this reading? Well, yes, it is Capricorn season. Thank you for noticing. Capricorns can be crazy. I'm a Virgo. We get along very well. My cousin and I, she's a Capricorn, and her and I, we're just little mischief makers together. You know what I mean? If my mom would send us to the grocery store, we'd always make a game of it. And they're perfect partners in crime. So hello, Capricorns. And suffering the consequences of others, are we? Where? What? Huh? Where? Where and what is the resolution? Why are you suffering the consequences of others? Why are you putting their crap on your shoulders? It doesn't belong there, fam. It doesn't belong there. And maybe that's what you've been trying to figure out for yourself, right? Not only about people pleasing, but some of us, we know how difficult life can be, how traumatizing and painful it can be. And we don't want others to feel that. We don't want others to be alone in it. And that can take us down with them, right? Why are you suffering somebody else's consequences? And what's on the bottom of this deck? Your intuition is trying to get through. So what are you choosing to overlook? Kind of like that flower card that's like asking you what you're not being honest with yourself about. Because it's time to be honest with yourself, right? So what is it that your intuition keeps bubbling up to you and you keep going, nah, 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 nah. Na, 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 na. Okay, now I want to play Katamari. Anyway, moving on. Like, but why? Why you do? Why you do? Tham. Oh, Tham, you've got this. It's time to trust your intuition. It's time to not only learn who you are and what works for you and letting go of, you know, negative influences, negative pasts, but also to trust yourself. You've come so far, fam. It's time to trust yourself and trust your intuition, okay? That's what you've been trying to do. So why aren't you allowing yourself to? Because all of these wonderful things are right there. They're right there. It's time to open up and accept and receive. Okay? Oh, Fan, thank you so much for joining me in this reading. Thank you for keeping me company. I really appreciate it. Even if you sped me up, I don't mind. It's cool. Sometimes I speed up too. There's only so much time in the day, right? Either way, always, if not forever, remember that I love you